Hey, are you ready for a little rant? I've got a Facebook group and, I've got a couple of Facebook groups and I'm also um, an administrator and a bunch of others. And there are three things that I observe a lot of people do that really aren't helpful, right? If you know my group, then you probably know that I've got promo day on Friday. And when I explain the rules, there's one thing that I always point out that for some reason seems to be really difficult to understand. And I call it no hit and runs, please. And what that means is that when you come into a Facebook group and you participate in a promo day and you dump your offer there and then disappear until next week, well, usually what you'll find is that you get very little engagement on your offer and nobody takes you up on it, right? And that has two reasons really, because Facebook and any social media platform always tries to keep people on their platform. So they try and show people content that's relevant. And the way they determine that is by what and who you interact with. So if Facebook detects that there hasn't really been any interaction between you and the other people in the group, number one, people won't even see your post, right? And even if they do, if they don't know who you are, they're likely not to give a rat's ass. So basically, the first step for you to get your offer noticed is notice other people's offers. And that's what I mean by no hit and runs, please. Give other people the attention that you would like for yours. Another one that really winds people up when they're on the receiving end of it is call it unsolicited advice. So classic scenario, somebody posts something, usually something personal, or it's just a comment on a post, and there comes, lovely helpful person say, oh, you should do this post, or you should check out my course, and you should do whatever, have you done this? And if you've ever received that, it's annoying as hell, because just because I posted there doesn't mean I want some person I don't really know to give me advice or to give me a solution to my problem, right? And there's a fine line, there's a very fine line between being helpful and coming across as a condescending dick, basically. So there's one thing that I learned from Dr. Mark Howard, who I had the luxury of being mentored by: ask for permission, always. And it works a treat. If you have an idea some resource that you would love to send to somebody, if you come at it saying, I've got some ideas, let me know if you'd like me to share them with you, then they have the option to either ignore it or to say, nah, I'm fine, or to say, oh yes, please, right? And only then you'll send whatever link you want to send. And that makes a world of a difference in the whole dynamic of the interaction. So ask for permission is a good one. And the other one is when you go fishing in waters that aren't yours. And it's when somebody comes in my group and offers a service similar to mine, or somebody leaves a comment and someone goes, oh, I can help you with that, and this is basically the same thing I help people with, doesn't usually go down well. So if you do that in a group, it's a bit like if you have a pizza restaurant and you walk into another pizza restaurant and you walk up to the people who are sitting there and say, well, actually, why don't you come over to my restaurant? I have lovely pizza too. What does that get you? The pizza restaurant owner is likely to boot you out of the restaurant. The person sitting at the table thinking, well, that's kind of weird. And the owner isn't likely to, be cooperative. They're probably going to boot you out. So next time you run around and you have no salt, well, guess where you won't be able to go. So if you feel that you can help somebody in a group that's owned by somebody else who's offering something very similar to you, well, why don't you take it a little slower? See whether you can get them to your group or get them onto your mailing list and open the conversation from there. But if you go pounce on somebody in somebody else's group, doesn't usually go down well. So that's my 3 pet peeves when it comes to people in groups. I'd love to hear whether you've got anything to add to the list. Let me know in the comments. Have a lovely day.